It's October 4th, 2021. I'm sitting here in my lagoon, my little reef, Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I was walking my son to school this morning, and like I mentioned yesterday, there's road work. Yesterday we didn't see it. Today I only captured the after effect when there was no workers and all the equipment was put away. Today, lo and behold, luckily, my son and I were walking to school, and they call themselves DOT workers. Apparently, I did not know they wear orange. And then some of them have like a yellow with an orange. I don't know why. Yellow is really for sanitation, I thought. But whatever on the orange. So there was that going on. I was trying to remember from when Alexander and Benjamin Daniel were little, the books that we used to read about the front loader, the payloader, and like all the equipment, but we never really saw it in real life because we were in Long Island. We were out towards the Suffolk County area, where road work is done. It looks like it's done differently than the city area where I am now. So Nucci and there was a big machine I had never even seen before or noticed before, called a miller, the gentleman said. Then there's something called a ripper. And then I said, the only one that I could have possibly, I said, am I correct in saying the one over there is a payloader? He goes, yes, actually, you're right. And I was like, thank you. I said, see, I got one right. So, anyway, so that happened. We stopped, we talked to all of the city employees, the DOT representatives. We thanked them for their being here and taking care of the neighborhood, and for letting us witness this unusual event of the equipment being actually used, and for educating us on what they call them. So that happened. Simultaneously, on a cross street, as I was finishing the walk to school, there was two DSNY sanitation workers. They would both be more, if I'm a incarnate 8, they were both wearing an incarnate 7. That's just their gender and genealogy, as in relation to I'm a 78, but I'm missing my 7. I don't know where he is. So I got stuck with some Harry Potter wannabe who doesn't look like the characters, and it doesn't make sense to anybody because he looks more like a troll to me. And then I've got a Rocky Horror Picture Show who looks like he could have done modeling as a kid, but it's a complete horror show I really didn't need either of this debuts. And so that happened. Now, interestingly enough, on the set of the DOT, since we got the DSNY out of the way and squared away, I come home and they're showing this movie where they're like rewriting the West, like the old Western of Hollywood squares. They're redoing it, and now Lou came up and said they got a deep suntan. I'm like, that's a good way of putting it, Lou. But this is what the DOT part of this morning looked like. I felt very underrepresented in the DOT heavy equipment operators, little like brood of union.
Bags.
Trudy.
If I'd known you was switching sides, I'd have asked you to come join us. You here for your damsel in distress?
Well, you don't look hard of hearing. So I'm gonna ask you again. Where's Rufus' book?
But clearly, you don't know me. Oh.
One of the most versatile talents in the business, Jonathan Majors, is joining us right now. Good to see you again.
I'm not touting Hollywood. I don't care what square it holds. So that's that at the moment. I'm in upper gamma, lower gamma dilemma. This is my unity symbol that they collectively use around here with some stability features in between. I'm still experiencing high amounts of vibration. If interstitial is outside, if interstitial is inside, because there's an inside plasma and there's an outside plasma. So if the vibrations are coming from interstellar, being anything outside, and then interstitial being my inside plasma, I'm having vibrational waves through something that I discovered, and I said yesterday I think it was human, but it might be a human derivative of study and pairing with my version, my humanoid, my 78 that I'm wearing, my incarnate that I'm wearing. So now, let's think of this, and 7 and 8 goes like that, and then it's supposed to be a pair, but I'm currently just at an 8. All right, so now I gotta think about this. So I think, so it actually came through Google. So technically that would be artwork, and it would be intel coptically for my cognition through coptic or optical read. So now that would be considered artificial intelligence, I believe, is how they classify it on Google. So I digested some artificial intelligence that was put on my Google feed. However, I was algorithmed the correct way. These are some of the new language that the humans are using in this area. I guess it's urbanite. It's their new lingual overlay and parlay. So I'm just incorporating it into my slangly for Langley at whatever prowess, because I'm having trouble at if it is a balding black hole, no hair is how they referred to it. The plasma's moving in an uneven pattern where some have larger magnet pockets pulling things off, and then there's a small magnet pocket, but the smaller magnet pocket is not able to offset the larger magnet pocket, and when you get stuck in the interstellar plasmic magnetic pocket in between in the plasma in between these two magnetic pockets that are off the size, one's larger than the other, it tends to start to mess with your inner plasma, being the interstitial plasma, which is currently what I'm experiencing. When I get up and I walk, it's hard sometimes to put the weight of what's accumulated on my top onto the legs and feet and move, because the floors crack and the house almost sways in this like they say red shift phenomenon. But if I could be so bold as to just move that into a personalized format for just a moment, since I don't have any professional scholars to do anything official with, I would call it either, I mean, I used to call it black drift, but now that we're having a problem with that word black, I would say red drift, somewhere between a red and a blue, a hot and a cold pocket of convection, because I can feel, even in my eyes, I can see if I try to stare at a target, like I have the Doppler over there. Sometimes if I just try to focus my eyesight on something like that, I have floaters in my eyes, which I know is now a new human phenomenon. They don't know why, but somewhere between the gas shifting in the eye and the floater on what they call the retina, although I don't really think they know how the whole thing works personally, for the optical cortex, I can see the floater on my, if that's the Doppler, I can see the floater in my vision only, not in the physicality, not in interstellar space. I can see it in interstitial space within my own plasma. And then I try to focus it on the interstellar physicality of the bullseye on the wall, and then I try to steady myself. But sometimes I can actually see the visible spectrum of light uncharacteristically waving, like in a wave pattern, which I put as noise pollution and vibration.